This episode's gonna ruffle some feathers. I say good. Because what I'm gonna say needs saying. You've probably been told you have a disorder, like depression, anxiety, ADHD, something. That label came from a book called the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, published by the American Psychiatric Association. They decide what's normal and what's disordered. But who the hell decides what's normal? So here's some history for you. Let me tell you about this book. The DSM gets revised regularly. Not because of new science, because our culture changes. One example being gay, mental disorder until 1973. They didn't discover anything, people just pushed back. Culture shifted. Suddenly, not a disorder. Another example, kink. Pathologize forever. Now it's only a disorder if it bothers you. Behavior didn't change, label changed. The DSM doesn't measure what's wrong with your brain. It measures what the culture doesn't like. So who decides normal? The people who wrote the book, mostly guardian types. Tradition, rules, fitting in. They're about 40 to 45% of the population. They're the biggest group in this country. And normal gets defined by the majority. Statistically, those bell curves. If you're different from the majority, that's abnormal. And you know what gets abnormal? It gets a diagnosis. So is the person actually broken? Or is the environment just not built for them? Let's talk about depression, the old story, chemical imbalance. Your brain's broken, so take this pill, and it'll fix everything. But if we look at the polyvagal theory and the truth, depression is often shut down. It's a dorsal vagal response in your nervous system. Your nervous system learned, the environment's too much, I can't cope, and I'm gonna shut down. That's not broken, that's survival in a world that's just filled with constant nonstop stress all the time. In an overwhelming situation, shutdown might have actually saved you. The disorder is your body trying to protect you. Now, let's talk about anxiety. We have words like anxiety disorder, broken brain. And you know what the solution is? Here's a prescription for you. You know what's actually happening? The nervous system is in threat mode, plus your beliefs that things aren't safe, you're not good enough, bad stuff is coming. Again, constant stress. Your nervous system is doing its job. It's looking for danger. It's not about bears in the forest anymore, though. The problem is we learn to see danger everywhere. So anxiety is a signal. It says, I don't feel safe. Medicating the signal without asking why you don't feel safe, that's like just unplugging the smoke alarm instead of finding where the fire is. Here's some other variations for you. There's ADHD, autism, and then there's personality disorder stuff. So more and more, we're looking at ADHD and autism as different brain wiring, not broken wiring, different. ADHD is a different operating system. It's a disorder only because desks and cubicles aren't designed for it. And then autism processes differently. Disorder because we expect everyone to act the same. Then let's look at these personality disorders. The people who get them can't have effective relationships with other people in a way, or fit into society. They were people who never learned to regulate their emotions or attach to other people well. And you know why? Because nobody taught them. So stop asking what's wrong with you. Ask, what environment do you actually work in? And let me tell you something, the system is broken. I was in this system for over 25 years. It's changed a lot. I was a psychiatric nurse, then a prescriber. I diagnosed people, thousands of patients over the years. I saw the trauma, I saw how their bodies responded. But I was trained in their system, the DSM people. I went to their conferences. I did their continuing eds. You know what I saw? A lot of groupthink, tunnel vision. When I challenged how they were framing attachment disorders, for example, because what I was seeing in my actual trauma patients didn't match the book. The supervisor tried to shut me up and publicly humiliate me. Said it's not in the book. You're wrong. So that's what happens when you question things. So this isn't theory. I lived it. I left it. I have some My Story videos, more detail about what happened and why I left it. The mental health system's falling apart. Everyone needs help now. The therapists are burning out in this system. Prescribers are burning out in this system. Lots of reasons. The big companies are buying practices up for profit. Then there's high deductible insurance where people can't afford mental health care regularly. There's 6-month wait. There are 15-minute med checks. That's all you can get. It's hard to describe a lot of complex problems and get solutions in 15 minutes every quarter. So here's the deal. Drug companies make money when you take pills forever. Insurance companies make money denying the claims. You only make money when you don't use your policy, essentially. And corporate mental health makes money churning through the patients. It's like fast food. But humans and mental health care, you really can't do it in a production line very well. Oh. Anyway, and also nobody profits when you get better. Root causes, never touched. Symptoms are managed forever. So what are you going to do about this? For yourself. Good therapists exist. Find one if you need one. Pills might help you function for a while. They're a band-aid. They're not a long-term cure if you don't look at the root cause. But you can do the body practices from episode 9. Know yourself and your own patterns. Find some safe people. See them in person. Bigger picture, we need collective healing, not just individual, but every person that does this adds to the, little drops going into the ocean. Look at the whole mess we're in right now. We're in disconnection and a loneliness epidemic. Just chronic nonstop stress. Intergenerational trauma that continues. You know what would help fix it is if in the next generation we can teach the kids to be safe through attachment parenting, and not just the parents. A whole bunch of us can help kids. We can break that chain. We can give the kids what we didn't get. One generation of secure kids, that changes everything. So here's the truth. You're not just a disorder. You're having a normal response to abnormal bullshit. The nervous system is doing what it learned to do. Your symptoms are signals. They're not necessarily just proof you're broken. The real disorder, society is disconnected. The trauma never dealt with. Environments are making people sick. And the system is profiting from keeping you unwell. So this is the end of Phase 2B, how civilization broke us. Phase 2C is coming, the way out. Actual practices, integration, rebuilding. You're not broken, not disordered. Human being dealing with a world not built for humans. That can change. I'll see you in Phase 2C.